Good evening and welcome to the campus of Marquette University and welcome inside the Al McGuire Center. Time Warner Cable Sports Channel presents women's college basketball. It's the Loyola University Ramblers and the Marquette University Golden Eagles. So glad you could join us this evening alongside Kevin O'Connor. I'm Patrick Reed. Tonight we feature a matchup of two teams still looking for their first win in this 2014-15 season. We also feature a Marquette team that's in transition. You'll see as many as 4 freshmen on the floor tonight for the Golden Eagles, but you'll also see a first-year head coach at the helm, and that's Carolyn Kieger. And if that's a name you recognize, it should be. Carolyn Kieger is Marquette's all-time leader in assists. She scored more than 1,200 points in her collegiate career and was a 3-year captain for the Golden Eagles, 6 years at Miami, and now back at the helm of her alma mater's team. And Kevin, one of the players that Coach Kieger is going to rely on this season to help pave the way for her team is senior guard Alicia Morse.
Yes, and she's a preseason All-Big East selection, over 1,100 career points, so she has the resume to build off of. She says she's ready to step forward and be this team's leader. Carolyn Kieger says she's going to be more than a jump shooter this year, put the ball on the floor, set people up for success, and really help take this team to yet another level.
Alicia Morse will be one of the players displaying her talents on the floor tonight. Both Marquette and Loyola looking for their first win this season, and we'll have it for you when we return. The starting lineups and the opening tip are coming your way next here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. 3:40 to go in the first half. Marquette up a pair on Loyola, and new Marquette Athletic Director Bill Scholl is the next guest on the Dennis Krause Show. He discusses his career in athletics, his vision for Marquette, and of course Marquette basketball. Watch the Dennis Krause Show tonight at 10 o'clock and throughout the week on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. And coming up at the half tonight, we'll have an excerpt of that interview of Dennis's conversation with the new AD, so stick around during halftime.
Marquette with 11 turnovers in the early going, but I think just as important, Loyola with just 5. They've been efficient, means they've been able to miss a few more shots, lose the battle on the boards, but still be right in the middle of this game.
Loyola at 41% from the floor, 16 of those points in the paint. And Marquette has an opportunity at the free throw line again, and it was a rough season opener for Kenesha Bell at the stripe. And she makes good on the first here. For Bell in the opener against Green Bay. 9 for 16 at the line. Marquette shot 64% as a team. Even lower than that in the first half. Bell makes them both, and it's a part of the game that Kenesha Bell continuing to work at for Marquette. She's going to have those opportunities to get to the line. It's about making good on the opportunities.
No question with how she plays, she's going to get fouled. Teams are going to have a hard time guarding her, and she can score a lot of easy points by knocking down the free throws.
Marquette with a 30-26 lead on Loyola, and Molly Crosby changes that.
You mentioned the points in the paint number up to 18 now. A few too many easy looks on the interior at times for Loyola this first half.
Bell from the free throw line. Gets her own rebound, gets back to the basket, and Kenesha Bell with the fearlessness. If she can get those second chance opportunities, the points will continue to rack up for her.
Yeah, you only saw her about 3 minutes before she picked up those 2 fouls. Now back out there and just brings a real energy and enthusiasm on the offensive end for Marquette.
Three-pointer on the way from Washington, no good. Bell likes to work quickly, takes it to the basket here and rolls it home for Marquette. And Cheryl Swoops takes a timeout.
Lots of coaches have different philosophies on putting players back in with 2 fouls and when you do and don't, especially with someone like a freshman where they might race down the floor and charge, but instead that time of finish has made a difference. She's really sparked a run, and when you look at that foul trouble, there's 4 different Marquette starters with 2 fouls apiece, so you got to mix and match and put somebody out there. But Bell, a real spark that's been missing much of this first half, and that sort of speeded up transition game that Marquette would like to play.
Mentioned this earlier in the show, Kevin. Kenesha Bell was a player that the defensive play was a commodity for her, but it's the offensive play that she's learning about, that Coach Kieger is learning about, and that's still an unknown for Kenesha Bell.
And you see that stretch right there of 5-6 seconds, how quickly she can get up the floor, how she can handle the basketball, how she can finish at the rim. I suppose you could argue we've seen the downside of that aggressiveness and maybe learning it with the charges. That'll get in the scouting report more and more. She could potentially spend more time on the bench, but nothing but upside, it would seem, for Kanisha Bell.
Simone Law is fouled at the free throw line. And that's the third for Michaela Yentz. So Simone Law at the free throw line. A career 73% shooter knocks down the first. Chantel Valentine into the game for Marquette to replace Yentz with her 3 personal fouls. Get a look at Simone Law. Cheryl Swoops called her a character player and a player that makes her a better coach every day she gets to work with her. And makes the second and heads to the bench for Loyola.
Yeah, she has 2 fouls as well, so whether it be some offense, defense, or even Cheryl Swoops just trying to get to halftime, certainly without that 3rd foul.
Marquette with a 4-point lead on Loyola. Valentine. Tibbs on the turn on the block, and Tibbs draws contact.
Tell you what, when Marquette has wanted to establish post position, they have not had too much difficulty getting the ball in the block 5-6 feet from the basket, and that time good position, one simple drop step move and a trip to the foul line.
And Tibbs makes good on the first. That is one of the known advantages this Marquette team has this season, the size inside. We see Becca Smith return to the game for Loyola. Tibbs now with 9 points for Marquette. And the Golden Eagles with a 6-point lead on Loyola.
And let's face it, when you're talking about some younger guards trying to blend in with those older inside players, making those good passes, knowing when to do so, lots of that will grow as the season goes along.
Law with the quick pull-up. Here comes Bell. Bell has it knocked away by Ryan Johnson, but picked up by Tibbs. Now Grimm with a 3-pointer. And tapped around and lost out of bounds. And Marquette will keep the basketball with a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Molly Crosby returns to the lineup for Cheryl Swoops' team. Swoops in her second year. And Arlisha Morse returns for Marquette.
You know, this has been a nip and tuck first half, but now Marquette's 6-point lead, probably four possessions or so left for each team. You got a chance here to expand things out a little bit more before the break.
Morse fires the 3 after coming back into the game. Tibbs with the second chance, and Lauren Tibbs back to the free throw line. You see the emotion there from Lauren Tibbs.
You can see she's really gotten in this game the last few possessions with the good post position, and now, again, just bigger than everybody and with some help on that offensive glass as well. And what we thought from the get-go could be a big edge for Marquette on the glass, starting to take hold a little bit as this first half goes along. The overall total's up to 22-12 in favor of Marquette.
Second for Tibbs, good. She had 9 points against Green Bay, 20 minutes off the bench, has provided some valuable minutes off the bench tonight for Marquette.
Yeah, she's well on her way to a double-double, it would seem.
Take away by Grimm, ahead for Elbert. Elbert lays it up and in for Marquette. A freshman connection, Hannah Grimm, Tia Elbert. Marquette is up 10. Smith on the drive, a whistle. And Grimm picks up the foul.
It's an unfortunate kind of ticky-tack foul on the perimeter when you have the momentum, you're going your way, and Loyola not really threatening to score. This little burst here coming with Simone Law on the bench, and I think Cheryl Swoops going to ride that out to halftime to not let her pick up that 3rd foul, but obviously the game teeters into a bit of a danger zone as well.
Katie Salmon, a product of Wauwatosa East, a Red Raider, checks into the game for Loyola. Becca Smith with 3 points, and now 4 for the Ramblers. Marquette up 8. 65 seconds to go in the first half. Grimm from the corner. Again, looking inside for Tibbs, and that's offensive foul number 5 for the Golden Eagles.
And Tibbs didn't seem to disagree with the call. Looked like the two were tussling for position, and I think Tibbs perhaps had to give a little extra nudge to get herself clear, and all of a sudden, with Law back out there, Loyola may be surviving this little burst here at the end.
Lauren Tibbs with a foul and 11 points tonight for Marquette. Law at the free throw line. Runs into contact but travels before it. Simone Law with the turnover.
With the contact on the verge of a double team, you'd rather the travel than an offensive foul in her third. So stops play, they get her back out. But nonetheless, Marquette still with that chance to carry a double-digit lead into the locker room at halftime.
Right now, 3 freshmen on the floor for the Golden Eagles. Morse, the senior, with the basketball. 15 to shoot. Bounce pass for Grimm. Grimm running into contact from Crosby. And some nice play underneath by Arlisha Morse, who finds the basketball, puts it up and in.
Yeah, it was great help defense by Crosby, but Morse in the right place for the easy finish.
Defense on the baseline by Marquette. The takeaway from Morse. Now 7 seconds, fired ahead, but into the hands of Destiny Washington. Ramblers running out of time. Smith fires inside half court. It's off the rim and out, and Marquette will go to the locker room with a 10-point lead on Loyola, 42-32.